Any questions? Ask me anything. I'm cooking like a lamb.
99% of the investments don't work out.
Not if.
When? It's a fact.
When?
Why is it?
Because of what I said, it's about sex, it's about lust. It's about I can figure it out, it's about the lottery. It's about all of those things that have anti-behavioral characteristics that says I'm not like everybody else. I'm smarter. I can pick and choose. That's why. And you know, that's part of life. That's the way we think. We think this is it. But it's an investment. Every investment should come with some logic to it. I didn't even use these terms. Best business practices. Best business practices. So if you'll have one in your inside pocket, you pull them out. Best business practice of angel investing. I will only do this. I will look for these companies. I will choose these. I won't go with these companies. Do you all have those? You should always have best practices. It's an investment. Yeah.
Trying to pick up on best practices. What are your thoughts on follow-ons? Do you think that
Yeah, I know what you're gonna ask me
maybe
that.
new follow-ons or rather keep diversified?
Statistically, okay, not a lot of research in this world, by the way, so you have to sort of try to pull it out. The best input on that is that if the company hasn't made its expected metrics going in the right direction, you don't give them the money, you don't invest again. Why? You take the money and put it in another opportunity. Now, I do that. The company hasn't made it, I'm close with these companies, obviously, in the beginning, saying no. It's even hard for me, right? You're with a company for a year, you're there working with them, and it doesn't work out, and they need more money, and it's not looking good, and they're begging you, and you say, no, sorry, I'm not doing it. Your relationship is over pretty much at that point, right? And that signals to everybody else. And you're the signal. No one likes to be in that position. So you have to realize, of course, I'm in the no business. I say no 98% of the time. So that's my strategy. My strategy is if the company hasn't made their metrics, I'm going to increase my opportunities by finding and investing in another company. Yeah.
Hey, Brian, great presentation, thank you. I'm going to get you
Thank
back.
you.
Could you share with us your best opportunity that has yielded? Was it smart, was it lucky, was it both?
All of the above.
And then is there a worst case study or battleground story?
Yeah, I mean, companies, I said, somebody leaves and you didn't expect it. I didn't know the partners were dating, right? And they broke up. So I'll never invest in a company where there's boyfriend and girlfriend, or even husband and wife. It's rare, divorce rates being what they are, right? Why would I do that? You get excited about the company, what they're doing, and maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll succeed. But I'm a percentages guy. I get scared about those guys. So yeah, I mean, everybody knows my big investment. You know, it's pretty visible. So it was an opportunistic, lucky, but I'm a nut job when it comes to angel investing. So I like to believe, as an old newsman, we had a presenter actually in this room from a major venture firm last week for the New York Angels meeting. And she was a newswoman. She worked at Reuters. And I kind of got a kick out of the fact that even, you know, Ben Lair, from Inventors, he was a PR news guy. We have this sort of nose for news, or nose for investigation, or nose for finding things out. And I'm finding that that kind of nose, news nose, for knowing what is news, right? It's not whatever Walter Cronkite used to say it was. That's how we used to define news. But if you do this enough, if you're a nut about it, so I encourage all my angels, and really I feel like they're my family. And many of them are like one of my best friends. Right, he knows I love him. But are actually in the New York City startup community. They're hanging out, people like Alan, going to all of his meetings, listening, touching, getting close to, well, maybe not touching, that's a little weird. But they're getting close to the community. And only by doing that, and that's an honor, that's an absolute honor to do, do you gain this extra little bit of insight where I get that spidey tingle. And I say, you know, sexual bit too. You know, I always tell entrepreneurs to pepper their presentations with sex. exits, because the word exit is like sex. In their presentations, we're going to exit Google. What if you're that? Yeah, another question?
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah.
just given all of the companies that fail and the investments that fail, would you say that the due diligence process is generally flawed?
It's never perfect because it's everybody's individual due diligence. How many things can you put in your checklist that add up to something that's credible? Not entirely sure. So you could find out the fatal flaws. So that's what I look for. Flaws, everybody's got them. Fatal flaws, if I find one of those, then I move away. Some of those could be like I'm at a university and they've got a great company, great product, and I ask the question, does the university own any rights to this? And they go, oh, yeah, right. You got to pay them 8% a year. So if you don't know what the right question is, you don't find out the right answer. But the longer you take on due diligence, and no one wants to waste, by the way, time is very precious for an entrepreneur. So the New York Angels, we don't waste any entrepreneur's time. It's all about 2-hour discovery. We want to go further. We'll do another due diligence after that. But we will not waste their time. We get to know. The word know, by the way, is just as good, second to yes. But most of us don't say no. We'd rather say, see, VCs are famous for doing that, right? We'll get back to you, see you later. Yeah.
Your book was excellent. Thank you for writing.
Thank you.
You talk about how entrepreneurs, you say in the book how you like entrepreneurs that develop their business for an early exit strategy. And are you concerned at all that as an entrepreneur develop this business for an early exit strategy that you could be sacrificing the long-term success of the business?
I'm not. I've had this debate many times. What would they be doing? They're building their business. They're growing it. They're putting themselves in touch with potential acquirers. They're working with them, maybe putting some of the people who left those companies on their advisory board, right? So they've got a closer relationship with those companies. I think what's important to note is I like to align myself with the startup that we're going to consider early exits and then educate them to the right reasons for doing it. So that it is on the table, it's on the radar screen. Because the idea of a company, when they say, we're going to go public, I respond. The chances of that happening are itsy bitsy. Like, what are you smoking? What drugs are you taking? The chances of that. But again, it's education. Young companies have a better chance of exiting in 3 to 5 years at a reasonable valuation with less dilution. And they go, really? And then I'll teach them that. I'll say, here's one scenario. You'll last 6 to 10 years if you can. And you'll exit with this amount of money available to you relative to your shares. Or do you want to do it in 3 years or 5 years, 3 less than that? With this amount of shares and this amount of money. So it's a conversation. It's not a deal. It's a conversation about the possibilities. Again, this is all easy to discuss, easy to describe, but hard to understand and to educate with. But you're all now, Marshall Cohen's in town. You are now all, deputized. When you leave this room, you are professional angel investors. And you're going to stop, think more closely about what investments you're making and why. You're going to ask the questions that you don't know and solicit answers from me or anyone else by going somewhere and say, I don't know the answer to this. Find out. I've always wanted to have in New York City, and I've talked about it forever, a devil's advocate group, where everybody can come in and just yell at each other. Just challenge each other until they cry. Because I think that's good. Again, that goes back to the Israeli mentality, where they'll just beat you up on your idea until they actually believe that it's a good idea. And even when I go to these incubators, accelerators, as I said, they're all masturbators. I ask the kids in the accelerator, are they talking to each other? Are they challenging each other? And they don't. I thought one of the best attributes of being in one of those betas was that they would all look at each other and offer help or challenge, but they just don't do that either. These are my good friends. So I'm not being mean or rude. I'm not trying to point fingers. I don't get it completely. There's this nicety thing, right? It's coddling. Okay, one more question.
So
So as an entrepreneur, I guess a newly deputized angel investor.
No! Newly deputized.
Professional.
Oh my God, why am I here? What's the point?
As you said, about 2% of companies will get funded, so as an entrepreneur, if it comes down.
Funded by angels, less than 1% funded by VCs. 1 out of 400. 1 out of 400 invested by VCs.
Yeah, if it comes down to taking, as you said, maybe no money or a tourist angel, as you described, and not taking money at all, you'd still say, well, take the money and try to develop your company.
The survival instinct is a tough. Yes. It's easy to say, I call it investor raising, not money raising. Right, you get that, right? If you can, do investor raising, not money raising. But if you can't, yeah, but know that it's dumb money. You know, don't ask them any good questions. Right? Immediately get a good advisory board. So again, thank you. I wish I had more time. But I love it. And I hope
I didn't see anybody dozing off after lunch, right? Not one.